Hey everybody, welcome to the dojo. It's Sensei Tash. I want to go over this simple and useful team model. One is forming, storming, norming, and performing. So what does that mean? So you can take it in the context of if you're onboarding a new team member, but I also want you to think in present time. How is your team performing right now? Is there a goal or objective that you're working towards? This model can be used for that. So it's not just of onboarding a new team member, but it could be starting a new service line, implementing something different into the office. When I read this, I felt the context could also be why we have strategy meetings and planning meetings with our team throughout the year. So I want to go over a little bit from that standpoint. So on the first one, it says forming. It's the high degree of guidance that's needed from a manager. Individual roles are unclear. The process is usually not well established. So it's okay to say, I haven't been the greatest executive. I didn't have any managers in place. And I just coped from being the owner, the operator, doing everything from the chiropractor to the front desk to the case manager. And then you brought in another team member. Maybe you brought in a front desk, and then you brought in another team member, you brought in a case manager, and then you just grew very quickly. And so some of this stuff was not formed from the beginning. So there's no better time than right now to begin to correct that. So if you can identify that with this in a way of like, man, we're just not getting the traction that I think we should. We grew really, really fast. We ramped up, we brought these people on, but it's not changing. Go back to this model here on forming, storming, norming, and performing. So the second one is understanding how team decisions are made. Purpose is clear, but team relationships are blurry. I'll talk about another book real quick. Here is Patrick Lencioni's 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. That would be a great book to understand as part of it, developing roles and relationship with other team members. So I'm going to digress for a quick minute. I love that book. I think everybody should read it. It's called 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. Now we move into norming. Relationships are well understood in the team. Commitment to the team goals begins to work on optimizing team processes. So by having this, it could be quarterly, semi-annually, annually planning meeting. This is what we're doing is we're lining out roles and responsibilities, relationships in the office. We have a company organizational chart, or you should have one saying, this manager is over these people. This manager is over these people. The clinic director is over the 2 managers. And then how does the front desk interact with the case manager, and how does the case manager interact with the medical providers, and so on and so forth, that everybody understands that it's like kind of running a 4-man relay, that we're passing a baton to certain people at certain times to win the race, if you will. So at this point of norming, it's the relationships are understood, the team goals are laid out, the commitment's there. And again, this would be referenced in 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. It's really good. And then you begin to optimize the process and the foundation that's laid out. You formed it, you work through the hard stuff, and now we're beginning to normalize what's happening there. And then we go into the performing, which is the team is committed, they're well performing, they're focused on being strategic, and the team runs well with little oversight. So again, this could be onboarding a new team member. It could be taking the current team and dialing it in. It could be bringing in a new service line and saying, how does that work out? What are the relationships? Who's delivering the service? Who's selling the service? Who's marketing the service? So use this framework to help you through that process. If you are forming something new, or you're training a new team member, or you're taking your current team and then helping them go from good to great. Because sometimes we just, like I said, run into those barriers of, hey, we grew really fast and now we've kind of hit this ceiling. Is there something else in this model that you've got to get worked out? So sit with your team, look at these things together, get it worked out as a team, make a commitment to implement and move forward with this. And this is where you begin to hold each other accountable, and then you attain the results that you're looking for. So I hope this little model helps you to understand and gives you tools to be super successful. We'll see you on the next one.